Okay, today I have two things for you. We're going to do a number string first. We've been doing a lot of our math talks around division, so today is division also. And so, here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the first problem. And I want you to think about this, and as always, give me a thumb when you think you have an answer. Say it in your hand. Let it go.
100!
Who would like to tell me about how they knew it was 100? Nation?
Because I know that you can use multiplication to help you, and that I know that 3 times 100 equals 300.
Look at everybody agreeing with you. Okay, so I didn't hear anybody disagreeing or anybody had a different answer. 100. So I want to draw a picture of that division. So if I was to draw an array, inside this array are 300 squares. I'm not going to draw all 300, but there are 300 squares inside this array. And this side is 3. So there's 3 columns, right? And so what you're telling me, Nation, is how many are right here?
100.
So this is 3 times 100 is 300, but 300 divided into 3 columns, there's 100 in each column, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here comes another part. So think about that. There's 120 squares inside there, and it's 3 on this side. I think what I'd like you to do is turn and talk in just a second about what you think it is and why you think it is that way. Okay, ready?
I think that it's because I know that
Well, do you remember what we did with the zero? If I cover up the 0 on that 120, what is it? What times 3 is equals 12? Let's count by 3.
Times 8 is 4. Because
So
4 and then 4 is 8 plus 1 4 is 12 and then add 0.
3 times 12.
Yeah. For me it was as at first I didn't know it. What she's always saying is a small problem, and a small problem for this one is 12 divided by 3, which is 4.
5 more seconds. Thumb when you think you know. Do you think you all have the same answer?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I want to hear all of the answers that you have. Who has the answer that they want to give? Jason?
40.
And why do you think? Are there any other answers? Why do you think it's 40, Jason?
Because I counted by 40, it was 40, 80, 120.
Oh.
40, 80, 120. Okay. Other people, how did you get that many? Vivian, how did you get 40?
I knew that 3 times 4 equals 12, so I thought of 3 times 40 because you just have to append the 0.
Oh, so you were thinking, let me just put your little thought bubble here.
You put this.
You were thinking, you said you thought about 3 times 4 equals 12. And so what did that lead you to think?
3 times 40 because you just have to append the 0.
People are agreeing with you. So you also use multiplication. Akaya, did you want to add on?
What I did was I knew that 12 divided by 3 is 4, and then added the 0, which is 40.
Did you add a 0 or did you
Append.
append a 0? Okay. So other comments, Andre?
I would like to add something with Jason when
Yeah.
Jason said 60, 80. It's not 60, 80. It's 60, 80, 100, and then 120.
Well, let's count
Well,
it
he
by
was counting by
20s.
40s.
Oh,
Were you counting by 40s? Would you count by 40s for us again?
40, 80, 120.
Are you agreeing? Change your idea.
Oh, and I have some.
Okay, so we're saying that this is, the missing factor over here is 40? Is that right?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna change that to 40 then. Sweet. Okay, so now, I think some of you probably already know how to do this, but let's find out. So now,
420
let's look at my
divided.
notes.
No.
Divide
3
3
divided by
equals. Oh.
Some of you think you have an idea. And while you're thinking, I'm going to draw
What do you do?
now this whole thing is 420. I'd like to hear a few answers. Who would like to give an answer? What do you think, Miss Sophia?
I think it's 140.
You think it's 140. Are there any other answers? You're all agreeing?
Yeah.
Can you explain why you think it's 140?
Why I think it's 140 is because I remember like a lot of the past times when you did a number string, you basically have to add the first 2 numbers, and then you could just add the first 2 answers, and then you would get the answer 140.
So because I added these 2 dividends, I could add the answers right
Yeah.
here to get that? Is that what you're saying? Okay, Princess, did you want to add on?
Well, I want to add a question.
You have a question?
So, if you're using division, when it goes down, you can add to figure out the division problem. Because you did 2 division problems, which is a small problem to help us with the bigger problem.
We do a lot of that, don't we, with the small problems, with the bigger problems. Praise, what did you want to add?
I was just agreeing with her.
Oh, okay. So, so are we agreeing that it's 140?
Yeah.
All right. So now what I'm going to do, and is I'm going to just show you something that we did yesterday. But I'm going to write this differently, okay? So 420 objects divided into 3 groups is the same as, I'm going to do this in my colors. 300 objects divided into 3 groups plus 120 objects divided into 3 groups. True? False?
Yeah.
True.
Did I forget something?
Yeah.
No?
Oh.
Kai?
I think it's true because 300 plus 120 equals 420. And
Grace?
that's-
I think it's true because 420, all you did was the 420 divided by 3, is you put the 300 and the 120 together to get 420, and then you left the 3 like where that was, and then you got 420 divided by 3.
Nation?
I think that's true because 300 divided by 3 is 100, and 120 divided by 3 equals 40, and 100 plus 40 equals 140.
So 140 equals 100 plus 40. You're saying that this is true because if this is 100 and this amount is 40, then it equals 140 because 120 and 300 is 420. Is that right? Andre, did you want to add on? And then Vivian.
I have a comment.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Why do you put the plus when you're dividing? Why did you put the plus when you did 300 divided by 3 plus 120 divided by 3? Why did you put the plus?
That's a great question. Can anybody in the class answer that for him? Mustafa, what would you say to him?
I think you're adding.
What am I adding? You want to come up, can you show us on the drawing where we're doing that? Or could you choose somebody to come up and show what you're talking about if they're understanding you?
Well,
Come on up here and show us on the picture. Andre is asking, why is it that we're adding right here? And can you show us on the picture why we're doing that?
because maybe if we could,
Let's down this side.
because if we switch this all of these around, it would be 120 divided by 3, and then it would be 300 divided by 3, and then it would be that right there that equals 420 divided by 3.
Oh, so you're saying that we can put the equal sign, we could switch it around. Is that what you're talking about? Or you're wondering why is it that we're adding this green part to this purple part?
No. What I'm wondering is that why do you always put the why would you put the plus when you're dividing that, and then when you're dividing these two equations and then put the plus?
Okay, thank you. Vivian, did you want to give it a go explaining to Andre?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and have a seat, and then why don't you come stand up here?
I think what he's trying to say is that
Other side of this.
why do we add this and this?
Right.
Because we're adding the answers.
No.
We divide them first. We do the problem. Then we add the answers because 300 divided by 3 equals 100, and 120 divided by 3 equals 40. And we just add the answers.
Can you show on the array, where is 420? Where's 420? Can you show with two hands, like where the beginning and the end of 420 is?
This is 420 and
The
this is 30.
The whole thing is 420.
Yes, the whole thing.
Okay, and so we didn't want to do it all at once. We wanted to do it in two chunks. So can you show where the first chunk is, this part,
Is this the green part?
the green part there? And after we did that, we did this part. And what part is that?
The
on
purple
array?
part.
Okay, and so after we did this part and this part, and we figured out
We combine
how
them
many
together.
groups of 3 were in there, then we could put them back together to find how many groups of 3 altogether. What do you think, Andre? Did we figure out how many groups of 3 were in this part?
No, I'm saying like, why would you put the plus when you're dividing?
Because we took them apart to figure them out in chunks. See where we took it apart right here? We did this part, and then we did this part. But we want to figure out how much for the whole thing,
But I don't get why would you put the plus?
because we have to put them back together to find out the answer for the whole 420. Because there are 420 inside here, right? And how many rows did we figure out were in this part?
100.
100, just from here up. But we also have to figure out that part, don't we? How many rows did we find out were in here?
40.
So then, if there are 40 in this part, and there are 100 in this part, how many are there all together?
420.
Take care, sure.
420.
How many rows?
140.
100 and, so how do you know it's 140?
Oh.
How do you know it's 140?
Because there's 100.
There's 100 rows here,
100 rows there and 100 rows.
and
40 rows there.
so altogether, how many rows?
140.
140. So why do we put the plus here?
Because you're adding.
We're adding them this many rows plus this many rows, right? Because we did. Did you want to add?
We're adding two answers together to get one whole answer.
We're adding two smaller answers together, yeah, to get one bigger answer. Okay. Are you ready for something else?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to go on to the next thing. Ready? Okay. So we've been doing some true false. We've been doing some true false. We did the brownie problem.
Yeah.
And then yesterday we did another true false. And so the brownie problem was true. So here's a new one. You ready? True or false? Now remember, if you think it's true or if you think it's false, you want to have a really good reason. 80 divided by 4 is the same as 80 divided by 2 and 80 divided by 2. I want you to think carefully. 80 divided by 4, I could put a story problem around this. 80 Skittles divided by 4 kids is the same amount as 80 Skittles divided by 2 kids plus 80 Skittles divided by 2 kids. And I think I'm going to have you turn and talk. Remember, you need to have a reason that you think the way you do.
I think it's false. No, true.
I think it's false. Because if you add the 4 times 8 equals something, and the 0 to that, I think it's false. I think it's true.
Well, what I was thinking was that 80 divided by 4 equals to 20 because 20 times 4 would equal to 80, and then 80 divided by 2 will equal to 40 because 40 plus 40 equals to 80. So and 40 plus 40 is 80 altogether.
So then what would the final equation read then?
20 is the same as
Great.
40.
You think it's true, huh?
Yeah, it is false.
So 20, you're saying that the final one would say what? 20 is the same as,
40
and 40 plus 40 is
80.
20 is the same as 80.
It's true because if you switch it around, 80 divided by 2 and then
False.
divided by 2.
I think it's true. False. False.
So I think that, 5 more seconds. Exciting. I don't think that we're in agreement. Just real quick, show me a thumb if you think it is true. Show me a thumb if you think it is false. So we have some people that think both ways. Would somebody like to defend true? Defend true. Let's start with Jason. Would you defend true?
Because when you divide, like, because
Take your hand away from your mouth.
because because you're cutting in half 4, so it's 80 divided by 2, and then it's another 80 divided by 2 because 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Okay. Adding on to that, Praise?
I think it's true because what I said earlier, if you switch it around, it'll be 80 divided by 2, and then it'll be 80 divided by 2 equals 80 divided by 4. And 2 plus 2 equals 4, and then the 80 stays where it is.
Romy, what are you thinking? You're agreeing.
I think it was true because add up the 2's and 2 plus 2 is 4, so then it'll be the same thing.
Okay. Anybody else want to talk about true? Abdirsa?
I think it's true because you divided the Skittles into 2 days. Like the first day you gave 2 kids some, and the other day you gave the other kids some. Like 2 and 2 for 4. That equals 4. So it's actually 80 divided by 4 if you add them together, which you are because you said 80 divided by 2 plus 80 divided by 2, and that would equal 80 divided by 4.
Are you wanting to support true?
False.
True. Is there anyone else that wants to support true? Okay, so let's take some people who want to support false. Let's go Vivian, Akaya, and Andre. Go ahead, Vivian.
I think it's false because if you do 80 divided by 2, then you already splitted all the Skittles, so you can't do it again because all the Skittles are already gone. And you can't change the divisor, you can only change the dividend. The divisor stays
So
the
Jason,
same.
you look like you are not sure about what she said. Can you repeat what she said?
Well, she said, like, you can't change the divisor.
Do you remember which one's the divisor?
Yeah, the 4.
Okay. Do you wonder why you can't change the divisor? Should we ask her why? Why can't you change the divisor?
Because that's how many are in each row, and you can't change that.
Well, and in our story, it's how many kids.
Yeah.
Okay. And what were you saying about the 80 Skittles?
If you split the 80 Skittles between 2 people, and you can't split it again because you already split it all of them.
So what do you think, Jason, about what she said? She said if you split 80 Skittles between 2 people, you use them up, and you can't do it again. What do you think about that?
I think she might be right, so I'm starting to think it's false.
So you're starting to wonder. Okay, so let's hear some more defense. Who was the next person that I said? Akaya, what are you thinking?
What I'm thinking was that 80 divided by 4 is 20 because 2 times 4 is 8, and then you're appending the 0, so it's 20. And then you have the equal sign, it's 20 is the same as 80 divided by 2, which is 40, plus 40, which is, it's false because 40 plus 40 is not 20, it's 80.
I was next. I was next.
Who were some of the people that were thinking false?
You said me.
Just wondering what you're thinking now. And so, Romy, what are you thinking now after listening to Akaya?
I think it's still true.
Why do you still think it's true? Did you understand what Akaya said?
Not really.
You want her to say it again? And then I'm going to come back to you, okay?
Can I write it out?
You mean up here?
Yeah.
Sure.
This is 20, and then it's the same as this, which is 40 plus 40, and that plus that is 80. It's not 20.
Can you explain, Romy, what she just did up there?
Because what she said was 80 divided by 4 is not 20, so it's not going to be the same as those two because when you add them up, it's going to be 80. So she thinks it's not the same as that because they have different answers.
Okay. So what do you think now?
I think it's kind of false.
So is it totally false, or is it kind of false or totally false?
Totally false.
Totally false. So Andre, you were next, and then Praise. What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking it's false because it's cash out.
Well, why don't you tell us about what's up there?
I think it's false because Kyle was kind of right. Like, it like at first, these two answers are the same. At first, these two answers are the same. And then when you get over here, that is going to equal 20. And then 40 plus 40 equals 80. And then you're
And
not.
so is 20 equal to 80? Is 20 the same as 80?
No. And then if you were doing 40, if you were doing this, you would probably be dividing that. Because you wouldn't be adding.
Well, but in this case, we are.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'm wondering if we drew a picture, would it help? Okay, so I'm going to draw a picture of a bag of Skittles, all right?
Okay.
And in this bag of Skittles, how many are there?
80.
Okay, there's 80 in there, okay? And how many times do I have, how many equal portions do I need to make? Everybody. Well, I have to make 4 because that's what it says here. So if I make 4 equal portions, let's pretend those are perfectly equal. And so how much does one person get?
Wait,
40.
20.
Who says 40?
Because
So,
there's two 80s.
So 40.
well, no, we're just talking about 80 divided by 4.
It's 20.
What if you repeated the zero
It'll
to
be
the
20.
Raise your hand if you have an answer.
What if you're
Alexis, how many would be in one portion? How many would one kid get?
20.
A 20. Andre's agreeing with you. So here would be 20, and there would be how many here?
20.
Okay, so now I'm going to draw these. Are you ready? I'm just going to remind everybody to have a seat. And here's 80. And how many equal portions am I making here?
2.
2. How many are in this side? Omari? Well, we start, thank you, Omari, there's 40. And in this side, there's also 40, okay? So how much does one person get here?
40.
Plus,
Another one. And 40 is 160.
how much does one person get here?
40.
So if I take a bag of Skittles and I break it up between 4 kids, is that the same thing as taking a bag of Skittles and breaking it up between 2 kids? And then taking another bag of Skittles and breaking it up between those same 2 kids?
No. It wouldn't be the same as that one.
Please turn and talk.
I don't think
Because you're pitching those two kids. I think it's one whole kid. Why would you? Why side? It's 80 and 20 is not the same. 80 and 20 are both answers. No, they're not.
He's giving you reasons. Can you give him a reason?
That's 80 or not the same answer. So they're both 80, but you're adding those ones together. That's 160. That's 2 bags of Skittles. What's 2 bags of Skittles? So, and if it's the same people, and it's 160. divide it into that.
Tavion,
Each person gets.
Andre, Praise, and
But
okay.
the total isn't 100.
So these two kids is gonna be Alexis and Princess. So what we're doing, everybody, is we're putting names on this, okay? Should we see some names?
Yeah.
So let's. As we said, okay, so this is going to be Tavion, and this is gonna be Andres, this is gonna be Praise, and Romy. All right? Romy, how many did you get? 20. All right. And so the two kids over here, this is gonna be Alexis and Princess. So Alexis gets this, Princess gets that. Alexis gets this, Princess gets that.
They were both 80 and there's only one back.
So how many does Tavion get?
20. He gets 20 because
Shafi, why does he get 20?
because he because it's 80 divided by 4.
Is 20. So Tavion, you're gonna get 20, okay? And is that the same thing as taking 80 and dividing it between two people and then taking 80 more and dividing it between two people? Because how many is Alexis going to get?
40.
She'll get how many here?
80.
And how many here?
80.
And how many does Alexis get?
80.
And that's the whole bag.
And is that the same thing, Tavion, as you getting?
No way.
So it's
So Tavion, is this true or is this false?
False. False.
Yes! He's thinking it's false.
but they've obviously got more bags.
Did you revise your thinking? Did we help you revise your thinking?
No, go.
Right. All right, so everyone, oh, one more comment. All right.
What I did was 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 equals 80.
There's 80.
And 40 plus 40 is 80, and that one's an 80. 80 is 80.
Right, 80 here, and there's 80 and 80 here. So on this side, there's 80 to break up, and on this side, how many are there to break up?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You have to explain me to please now.
Praise can watch the video.
Miss Simpson?
Praise you have to revise your thinking now.
All right, so thumb if you know if it's true or false.
False.
Say it in your hand. Let it go.
False.
True. Good thinking, everybody. That's a lot of good thinking.
If you was here, you would have got it.
About what is being counted, or what is the thing that we're dividing up in that problem over there? Hanan, what are we dividing up over there?
140.
Sorry?
140.
What did we? What is the whole thing that we're dividing?
100.
So like all the squares in here, how many squares are we dividing?
20.
How many?
20 divided by 8.
Well, in this part, there's 120, you're right. How many are in this part?
300.
Right. So how many were there all together?
140. 400.
420. So in this whole thing, there were 420, and we broke it up into two pieces to divide it, right? And so what is the whole thing that we're dividing in this problem over here? Princess, what's the whole thing that we're dividing in this over here? 80. We're dividing 80 right here. How much are we dividing up on that side of the equal sign?
160.
160. So are we dividing up the same amounts on both sides of that equal sign?
No. Yes.
Is 80 the same as 160?
No.
No. But what about over there? Are both sides of the equal sign the same?
Yes.
who can explain what is the same? Shafi, I haven't heard from you too much. What is the same over there?
Because the same is over there, like
What part of that is the same on each side of the equal sign?
over there. I forgot.
So let me point to this. On this side of the equal sign, what is it that's the same? Like Omari was telling us that 80 here, and this is 160.
Yeah.
And it's not the same. But what's over there, and is it the same?
Like over there, like 40 plus 40, and over there like 120 divided by 340. Like, but they changed it like 40 plus 40 equals 80, and then but over there like it's not 20.
Who wants to add on or say more about that? Kaya and then Vivian.
That is, since that is 140, it's the same as 100 plus 40. And then this one right here, like you said, that's 80 and that's 160, and it's not the same.
Right, 80, 160. And then, so right here, this says 420. Vivian, you want to add on?
I would like to add on that on here, the divisor didn't change, and on here the divisor changed.
Can you prove to us that the divisor didn't change? She says the divisor didn't change over here.
The divisor stays the same, but the dividend is different.
So wait a minute, 420 is the dividend.
Yes.
And where is 420 on the other side of the equation?
All of this.
Can you point to the places where 420 is?
300 and 120.
So 300 and plus 120 is the same as 420. Tavion, add on.
I was gonna say what she was gonna say.
You're agreeing with her? All right. Omari, what are you thinking about?
Well, I was thinking about the same thing, but some of the, like, it's about that one. The 80 doesn't change for the 20, 80 to 20 and the 40.
This 80,
Yeah.
and then when it gets over here, there's two 80s. And so 80 isn't the same as 160. But over there,
It's the same.
400 is the same as what? 420 is the same as
300
plus,
plus
One.
220.
yeah. So if 300 plus 120 is 420, is that one true?
Yeah.
And if 80 equals 80 plus 80, 80 doesn't equal 160, so is this one false?
Yes.
Akaya?
If you said 80, wait, no. If that 80 divided by 2, if the 80 was a 40, then it would have been true, because the 4, it would have just had to turn into a 2, and because that will be 20, and then 20, and then that would be 40. And then 20 plus 20 equals to 40.